preparing to live stream. All right.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like every vlogger or blogger, whatever you call them on Instagram right now, I am so obsessed with these. Isn't that what every girl says now on like every Instagram? Blogger or blogger, I am so obsessed with these Instagram right now. Oh my goodness, wasabi. Obsessed with these.
We got quite the feedback going on here.
On like every Instagram blogger or blogger, so obsessed with these. You got something going there.
There we go. Hey, well, this is a test, an absolute test here. And we're going to see how this works. So we're actually trying Zoom directly through our YouTube.
Yeah, I'm doing it live. So like everybody else, right? We've become the Zoom, not experts, because I don't know there's such thing.
You know, there used to be a game called Zoom Beanies. I don't know if you ever played Zoom Beanies.
I did not.
Oh, you missed out. But hey, we thought we'd just pop on for a few minutes and check in with you guys. It's been a while since we've actually talked with anybody here on the YouTube. I was going to say the Facebook, but on the YouTube, and just kind of get up to date with everybody and see what's been going on in the world.
Yeah, and most likely, just like us, you guys are stuck quarantined at home. So we're going on week 4 now.
Yeah,
of being at home. It's actually nice. I've been able to get out once a week because I do some video work for somebody that we're live streaming some things. But other than that, this is my domain, my office. You're in your office.
I am
every day.
Yeah. So just want to know what you guys have been doing to kind of get through this pandemic time and this lockdown. What have we been doing, Mark?
Yeah. So, one of the things we thought we'd come on to was not only just to try this, but to let everybody know that through our private Facebook group, which is our Panoptic Chopsticks workshop group, which hopefully you guys are a member of, on Fridays, we've been doing a Zoom call, lasts about an hour, hour and a half, and they have been phenomenal, haven't they? They've been like so fun.
They've been really good, really fun. In fact, a lot of people have said it's the highlight of their week.
And, one of the things is this week, like, we're feeling so bad, like, because we're going to have to let everybody know that there won't be one this week because we've had some speakers scheduled, and there's just, you would think with everybody in quarantine, we wouldn't have speaking problems, but there's other people are doing other Zoom calls and they're just overwhelmed and trying to deal with technical issues. But by next week, we're going to have all that ironed out.
Yep. Yeah, so we had a call that was scheduled for this week, and we were not going to let out who the guest speaker will be because it looks like he'll be with us next week. But and then we'll kind of promote it then. But if you guys want to check out our Facebook groups, Panoptic Chopsticks, or if you're in the local area too in California, you can join our Panoptic Chopsticks photography workshops group on Facebook. It's a private
Even
group.
if you're not in a local area, that's just,
go ahead.
We're pretty active there.
We are probably the most active actually on that site, and we'd love to have you guys join that. But we announce all these calls that we're doing. We do a lot of training. That's where we link to our workshops and all that stuff. What are you eating there, by the way?
They're the wasabi.
Oh, wasabi
and soy sauce almonds. And I really am obsessed with them.
So yeah, check out that page. So Panoptic Chopsticks, we've got our kind of our public group, and then we also have our Panoptic Chopsticks photography workshop, which is our private group, but we post all the time in there, and that's where we've been sharing. But what have we been doing on these calls, Mark?
So we've been doing some Photoshop tips, and last week we went through frequency separation.
That was awesome.
And taught you how to do that. That was fun. The week before, man, we had all the way from Essex, England, we had Scott Johnson, who is a Fuji ambassador for like Great Britain.
He's the Fuji guy for all that area.
Yeah, and he also is one of the master judges at WPPI and critiqued photos. Everybody was able to submit. We asked everybody, submit what you think is your favorite photo of 2019. And he critiqued him just like he would do at WPPI. He didn't hold anything back.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, but we learned a lot. I
It was
mean,
it was really cool, and the stuff that he can see. We asked him to actually just judge it like you would a normal WPPI judge. Um, it was pretty neat because he sees stuff in a picture that I wouldn't. I just, it's just not, my eyes aren't trained that way. But to watch him, it was really, really cool. So, if
well,
you
yeah,
get
he
a
was picking
chance,
things out I would have never seen, which again makes your eye that much more critical.
yep. In fact, we do have the recording up for that one on our Facebook group. So go ahead and join that, and you'll be able to see the recording. But and it's been a good time. So we just spent some time. It's all these photographers jumping on, and we talk about all things photography, and like Mark said, doing some training on Photoshop and post processing, and
Yeah.
we've had
But
guest
then
speakers on.
the other thing during this pandemic that we've launched is a new group called Vertical Central
Yep.
that we want to let everybody know about and invite you to. Um, Vertical Central is more of a faith-based photography group. We felt like there was a need for that. We've always been very careful to make sure we separate. We know we have a group of mixed people, so we've kind of separated, our beliefs, our politics, all from photography, and we felt like we needed an outlet where um, we can blend those things together for those, if you don't mind, hearing a meeting open in prayer and a little devotional once a week, we invite you to come on in. We do a Monday night call, and those calls have been so uplifting.
They've been very,
they're,
very
they're calls that
encouraging.
feed your soul, right?
Yep. In fact, this week coming up we have them on Monday nights, 7 p.m. Pacific time. But this week on Vertical Central, we have Scott Robert Lim. He'll be speaking with us. And Scott Robert Lim is a Sony artisan. He's actually one of their top Sony artisans, which just means he's an ambassador for Sony. Just an incredible guy, great speaker. But we'd love to have you join us on that call. But you can just go to Vertical Central into Facebook again. If you're looking for something to do and you're a Christian or a believer in Christ, we'd love to have you join that group. But otherwise, Panoptic Chopsticks, we're still completely involved there and having a great time on that group.
And again, even if you're not, you're going, I don't go to church. That doesn't matter. Come join us.
Yep.
It's a bunch of photographers talking about photography, and occasionally you're going to hear some talk about Jesus. And but I think you guys would really enjoy it. I'm actually right now doing a little copy, and I'm going to paste it in a comment down below. So if you want, you can come on over and join that group.
Perfect. Actually, put both groups in there too, Mark, if you can.
Okay.
That would be great. But hey, if you guys are still watching, what have you guys been doing right now during this time? If you're in lockdown, to keep your mind active, to keep your creativity going, share it into the comments. We'd love to hear, even in the live chat here, just what you guys are doing to keep yourself busy. I took on kind of a photo project a week ago, and you might have seen some of the stuff online that people were doing. They're taking, Renaissance period paintings and reproducing them out of goods that they have in their house. But the thing I've noticed with those pictures, a lot of people are like taking a food colander or a bowl and putting on their head to make a hat, and it looked kind of silly. But I went a step further. I said, well, I'm going to see if I can reproduce those paintings in the form of photography and have them actually look like the picture, not fake it. So we scoured stuff throughout my house, and it looked pretty cool.
No, it looked very cool. It was awesome. I mean, it was really cool, those photos.
Yep. So we're actually at some point in the future, we're going to be doing a video kind of on doing that kind of process. But it was fun.
So yeah, knowing that you guys were stuck at home and had to find all the props at home.
Yeah, everything was at home. And Mark's been taking some family pictures. He's been doing a lot of video work for his church right now, and that's what we're doing to kind of keep busy, is just staying up. But man, I miss big time going out and shooting.
Yeah, no, it is. I even made the joke, and it really was true the other day. I was like, I'm actually like needing to photograph so badly that I went in my backyard and photographed flowers. That's how desperate I was.
And that means Mark was really desperate if he's
Really
photographing
desperate.
flowers. That's
But you know
not
what? Next thing I knew, I was like, I'm gonna video these flowers and rack focus. And so now I'm starting to build like this little video clips of the wildflowers of Northern California that grow around my house. So
yeah.
if I ever need to stick them into a video, I'll have them.
Oh, that's exciting.
So not a lot of exciting things going on with us, just probably like with everybody else, but we thought we'd get on there and just say, you know, hey,
I have a question for everybody. So Mark and I were talking about this earlier this morning. I get inundated with these ads on Facebook for a thing called Masterclass.
Oh yeah.
And they are the best ads. Like they're 12 minutes long. But what they are is they're online education courses taught by people like Ron Howard, Annie Leibovitz. There's all these people, like whatever subject.
Yeah.
And the commercials
so engaging.
So stinking engaging. And they end up watching each one for 12 minutes. And it's the only commercial I've ever done it with. Does anybody out there, has anybody subscribed to Masterclass? And if you do, is it worth it? Because right now they got this special it's $180 for the subscription. You get every Masterclass that's out there, and there's 80 of the classes. And you get 2 licenses. So basically you buy one, you share one with somebody else. But if you guys have ever used Masterclass, let us know. I was like, oh man, I would love to do it, but I don't know if I want to spring for the $180. But like, let us know if you think it's worth it. I would love to know, because
yeah, and I don't want to hear it secondhand. I don't want somebody to go, well, I have a friend that told me it's not any good. Like, I want to know somebody that's actually watched them.
So if you do,
I was telling you earlier, I seriously have watched that Annie Leibovitz Masterclass commercial all the way through the end, which is like, you know, a minute or 2 minutes long. They have different versions of it, like 30, 40 times, because it gets me every time. You know, I don't even know what's his name, Arthur Penn Warren is, but they're like, he was dying, or I wanted to show his skeleton, and you're just like, wow, I want to learn that.
No, it's pretty fun. They have one right now that's this hostage negotiator, right? And like, what do I need hostage negotiation for? I'm like, ooh, that's interesting.
Just teach you how to negotiate in business.
Yeah, it looked pretty funny. But here's another question for you guys. So there's some new products that were due to come out. Supposedly they're going to be introduced, but one of them is the Canon R5, right? Which
looks amazing.
Looks incredible. Like it looks pretty stellar, and that's coming from 2 Nikon guys. But
yeah,
are you at all interested right now in new equipment? Like with all this going on, and a lot of us have lost income, and like, is that even on your front of your brain of like, I got to go out and buy myself a new camera because you got to take pictures of? But like, what do you guys think about that? Are you actually thinking about new gear? Are you excited about new gear? Or has this made it like gear's not important anymore? There's other things that are more important in life than new gear.
Yeah, and that's how I have felt recently. So the other thing is that the Photoshop Virtual Summit has been going on that Dave Cross runs, and I've been catching classes with that. And they're kind of going after like kind of that creative live model. Like right now it's going on. You can watch the classes for free live, and they're going to stay up for 2 more days or 1 more day, because tomorrow's the last day. And you can go back and watch it. Those classes are so good.
Yep.
You know, we always talk about Pix Imperfect. Like, we love that kid that teaches Photoshop. He's one of the teachers in this Photoshop Virtual Summit. And even you can buy the classes and then keep continuing to watch them after it's over tomorrow. And it's actually pretty reasonable. I think it's only like $89 for 4 days or something worth
to get it after the fact.
Like, and so you can just, work through it. Yesterday, I watched it was Adobe Camera Raw, like advanced features or advanced practices.
Mm-hmm.
I had Camera Raw up, and I was just pausing and going backwards and doing what this guy had said. I mean, that I've taught this thing all over the world for 4 or 5 years, Photoshop, but I learned stuff yesterday I had no clue. Like, I've used LUTs, lookup tables before, but most of the time, like, I don't really know what to do with them. They're kind of stuck. It's like, all right, somebody thought that looked good. I don't. It doesn't work on this photo. But once you understand how to make them, what goes into them, it's like, ooh, I actually can use them. And I streamlined my workflow yesterday in Camera Raw.
That's
Like,
awesome.
showed me how to make these, different presets that get everything right for my camera. You can set it up for individual cameras so that you're like, oh, if I download from the 850, it's going to apply this preset. If I download from the Sony A7, boom, it's going to apply this preset. All that stuff is in there with stuff that I've never set up before. So watch those if you're, and it's not just Photoshop. When it's the Photoshop Summit, but it's also Lightroom.
Yep.
A lot of Lightroom classes in there. So.
And here's another thing. Speaking of post-processing, that has kind of evolved in the world since we met last in this YouTube group here, was the Luminar 4.2. So we've been kind of promoting Luminar a little bit. We've kind of fallen in love with the product. We fell in love with it. We fell out of love with Luminar and back in love with it. So Luminar had a kind of a glitch in their system with Luminar 3. It just did not work. It was terrible. In fact, it was awful. But Luminar 4, Luminar 4, stellar. And then they've got this 4.2 that they just introduced, and it's really, really cool. And if you are into post-processing in a very easy to use way, they have figured out AI like nobody else. Like it's pretty exciting what they're doing. But you've probably seen a lot of people talking about the sky replacement thing in Luminar, which is a breakthrough, total breakthrough. But now they also added this augmented sky, where it automatically, like, you can put objects into the sky area, like an airplane or a bird or whatever, a giraffe. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, but you can install it there, and it will actually mask it out, not just from the sky, but from any other element within the picture. It's really, really
You could put a hot air balloon and there could be trees, and it could be behind the trees. It would mask it out into the trees. And it does a good job.
I don't know how they're doing some of the stuff, but they have been improving their portrait section even more. Like it was stellar in 4.
Now it recognizes multiple faces, and you can work on face number 1, face number 2. Like,
it's really, really great. I mean, they are giving Adobe a run for its money, and I think they're actually surpassed them in a lot of ways. But I'm really impressed with what they're doing.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's funny. Just this last week, somebody had asked me that was getting into photography. They're like, what software should I buy? And I know they're brand new to it. And it's like, you know what? Just go with Luminar. Mm-hmm. That's what you need to start with. I knew that the learning curve for them for everything else was going to be too great. Where Luminar, that's the beauty of it. We talked about it yesterday, you and I, of like Nik filters, Luminar. A lot of us that have been using Photoshop forever can get those looks. But why do I want to spend 30 minutes getting a look that I can get with 3 sliders? Mm-hmm. It's using the same engine, it's just harnessing it in a different way. And it's creating the look that I would have to just rack my brain of like, what do I do next?
No, it's amazing. And it literally, like, they've got some presets built in for doing portrait work that it is truly a one-click preset, and it does everything. Like, it will slim the face and does it well. Not like sometimes that Portrait Professional product.
Yeah, I was never a fan. It was fun to play with, but people don't look like themselves in Portrait Professional. Like, it's very easy to go too far on that one.
It does everything, like great skin augmentation. Yeah. I mean, it's really, really cool.
I noticed the other day, even the thinning, somebody's face was turned like this, and it still did it, the right way. It didn't make it. It doesn't have to be a face straight on. And the face was turned that I was doing. It was like, wow, it's still figured out how to make
we almost start to sound like we work for a Luminar sometimes, because it gets us that excited. That's coming from Mark too, a guy that has taught Photoshop around the world, like knows Photoshop inside and out.
I don't have Lightroom installed on my computer.
Yeah, he is not a Lightroom guy, but he's been really impressed with Luminar, so that's a good statement.
Yeah, and I think they handle color, from a non-technical side, they handle color way better than Adobe does.
They do. They definitely do.
Adobe, you can technically get it perfect, but you got to know numbers and all kinds of things, where this, it just does it.
Mm-hmm.
Which, 99% of everything we're going to do, it's going to do
Yep.
for us. It's just a matter of learning a new workflow.
And that's what it takes. It takes, just, we all have time right now, at least most of us do.
Yeah.
To learn something new. So
and I'll tell you, I have taken advantage of this time to learn a whole bunch of new stuff. I mean, I have been pushing myself to learn to get better at frequency separation, dodging and burning, when it comes to just retouching a different way. Eli Infante, love watching his stuff. And I've been taking his pictures. I can download the photos that he's actually working on and work right along with him. It's been fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I've actually learned stuff.
Yep. No, it's been good. In fact, Nikon has they opened up their whole library. Nikon's actually a pretty good resource for photo training and education.
Yeah.
And they opened up their whole library of educational videos for free. So it's been pretty cool how some of the companies have stepped up and provided opportunities for all of us to learn more. And just like that Photoshop, what do you call it? The thing you were just talking about, the
Pixie Imperfect, or the summit.
Yeah, the Photoshop Summit.
The Photoshop Virtual Summit going on.
They went from, it was going to be a regular conference to now it was a virtual conference, but they opened it up to everybody, which is pretty amazing.
Which is cool.
So the world is definitely changing as far as the way information is getting out there. Even what we're doing right now, these Zoom calls and linking it up with YouTube and doing all that stuff that wasn't available before. It's pretty cool how it's working. So
yeah. So again, join us on a Friday, not this Friday. Join us on a Monday nights, Pacific time. We're in California. So at 7 p.m. Pacific time, we do Monday nights with Vertical Central. We do it at noon Pacific time on Fridays. And we really promote that inside of our Facebook groups. That's where you're going to find those links. So, I think we have the link down below that says, follow us on Facebook. That should take you to our regular Facebook page, but there's also the workshop, Panoptic Chopsticks workshops, private group. We'll let you in.
Yep.
And, follow along.
And then if you are in California or ever popping through or ever want to visit, that's where we post all of our live workshops that we do into that group. So, and we have a lot of fun during workshops. I can't wait to get back to it. We've been talking about some of the ideas that we have of workshops coming up. And I guarantee you, when we are able to meet again together face to face, there'll be workshops you don't want to miss. That's for sure.
Exactly. Because we had stuff on the books waiting to go.
Yep.
But we'll get there. We'll get back there.
All right. I think that's all I got for today.
I think we rambled on enough. Again, we just, biggest thing today was just trying to zoom out as a live feed to YouTube. We apologize if you were bored to death, but we promise we'll get some content brewing, and we'll come back on with something to say.
Sometimes I think people think we never are short of things to say.
And I've got too many almonds now in my teeth that I'm getting to the point where I'm doing that I need to put them away.
Definitely.
In my snack drawer that my kids don't know about.
Well, everybody, thanks so much. Look forward to seeing you again next time, and we will talk to you again soon.
All right. Hey,
all right.
Don't forget.
Say
sushi. I want sushi.
That would
shouldn't have said sushi because now I'm hungry. I have chopsticks, but no sushi.